Gateway Centre in Atlanta hosted the February 5th edition of AEW Dynamite, headlined by a big clash when Swerve took on Ricochet. Takeshita and Fletcher also challenged the newly christened Hounds of Hell, Brody King and Buddy Matthews on the show. But we started things off with Renee Paquette trying to get words from Jay White in the parking lot. The Death Riders arrived, followed quickly by Ray 50R, starting showing a brawl. The fight headed to the ring, ending with the face on top. Cope again challenged Mox to a match at Revolution, but was declined. The Switch phase set up a different challenge. For Grand Slam, Cope and White, versus Mox and Claudio Castagnoli in a Bristol brawl, and the Death Rider set to this. While Omega versus Ospreay versus Don Callis family was a better show opening brawl a few weeks back, this was still a strong format to kick off the show. Race FTR is the strongest alliance to confront the Death Riders today, allowing Cope versus Mox to come off in real time. The most interesting element is the story in this Switchblade. He'll obviously have the hometown crowd and the Uneasy Alliance, which will make it interesting. But Don Callis announced a new member of the Don Callis family was Mark Davis, to the shock of Ospreay. Callis tried to cost the aerial assassin the match multiple times, but a hidden blade sealed the victory. Omega came out to talk to the crowd and promised victory when he and Ospreay teamed up. This was a solid match executed in the most awkward manner possible. The Don Callis family versus Ospreay and Omega storyline has been moving quite swiftly, but if Davis made his debut by joining Aussie Open, it would have made sense. If AEW teased a contractual issue over a few weeks, it would have made sense. Instead, he just kind of appeared, and yeah, it could turn out to make Davis a bigger star, but having him lose straight away personally just didn't really make sense. So I'm going to get a 5 out of 10. Before standing beside Lashley and Benjamin, MVP delivered a clear warning and invitation to the tag division. The Guns accepted, and the Hurt Syndicate sets their challenge for next week, throwing out the Arse Boys name. Austin and Colton Gunn gladly accepts their old nickname. This was a big stop for the return of the Guns, allowing them to instantly work off one top of fresh stable. This does not mean Austin and Colton will lose their return match next week, but it also means they're not going to have to work their way out. So Guns can give champions a strong first title defense and get them into the swing of things. They're also stuff for the Guns to do while Jay White's caught up with the Death Riders. Hopefully the Bullet Club Gold will reform within time, though. Moving on then to Takeshita and Cole Fletcher against the Hounds of Hell, and they had the Don Callis family on the back foot thanks to their cohesion, but Okada's music hit to distract Buddy and turn the tide. Takeshita and Fletcher got Brody King alone and had him with an assisted brainbuster to barely win. While all else fails, just let great wrestlers wrestle. This was a normal match that made the Hounds of Hell, especially King, look like monsters despite the loss. It took every trick in the book by the Don Callis family to survive, and yeah, it ended up with a great match. Fletcher and Takeshita built some necessary momentum ahead of their potential match of the year with Ospreay and Omega. So yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10 for me. Great stuff. Next up on the show, it was Max Caster who interrupted Hangman Page into Renee Paquette and began chasing him around the back. In the ring, MJF mocked Jarrett, again only for Caster to run out on his time, followed by the Cowboy. Hangman kept his focus on Caster, but the first interruption frustrated MJF. As the start of the Earth tried to refocus, Dustin Rhodes arrived to call MJF low road insults. MJF tried every insult up until bringing out Cody Rhodes, set off Dustin. Officials broke up the false, and the start of the Earth kicked his rival between the legs. This is exactly what AEW likely hoped to deliver with the MJF Jarrett stuff. Dustin had the crowd really going for MJF. MJF sold multiple big matches to cover, and MJF v Jarrett may not happen, but maybe this could be the better alternative. This is great stuff. Before we got Queen Aminata versus Tony Storm as the Glamour Mariah May, it was great pot when Tony came out like that. Queen Aminata got up and caught in the antics as Storm threw out, as the Timeless One took the win with a Mayday. Afterwards, Renee Paquette tried to get commentators from Storm, but she only wanted to speak as the Women's World Champion. May cut her off before stomping away, frustrated with the mockery. From an in-ring perspective, this was far from Storm's best, but the gimmick work really made it great. This kind of segment only these women could have pulled off, further emphasising Storm versus May as the greatest feud AEW Women's Division has probably ever delivered. So yeah, this was really great stuff. Gets 7 out of 10, and yeah, can't wait for that match at Grand Slam now. Before we moved on to our main event, Swerve Strickland taking on Ricochet. Ricochet blasted Swerve with a steel chair during his entrance. The mogul still demanded the bell rung, but was struck fighting from behind. Ricochet countered a second Swerve stomp with a defensive chop that landed between the legs of the mogul. The low low blow set up a spirit gun that won it for the one and only. Afterwards, Prince Nana tried to check in on Swerve, but Ricochet blasted and saw his roll to stand tall. If there was any doubt about how much this match meant to both men, it dispelled quickly to deliver one of the best bouts of the year so far. Patience was a virtue in this match, finding the hottest crowd, really made it pay off. On paper, this might have looked like an athletic battle, but the story demanded a more physical style that brought this to the contest. There was some explosive sequences down the stretch, but it always felt every move meant to hurt their opponent. Swerve dragged Ricochet into his playground, and the finish protected the mogul, but really put over Ricochet. So yeah, this was great. 7 out of 10. And overall, Dynamite gets 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, this was the best Dynamite of the year for me. I thought pretty much top to bottom a really strong show. I'm very intrigued to see where we're going now. It just feels like AEW could be getting some momentum back. Obviously, Grand Slam maybe isn't what it was once built to be, but it's still looking like a very intriguing show. And yeah, excited for AEW.
Hey guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials. Link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.